Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special unboxing of Magic the Gathering. I've been playing this game for a really long time, some 20 plus years. The game's been going on for like 30 plus for some 30 odd years since. And this particular box is a Magic the Gathering Bloomburrow pre-release kit. Now I know the pre-release was a few was a few was a few like last week. Um, the set releases this week, this Friday, tomorrow, in fact. And I had ordered this online. In fact, I did not go to the pre. I had to miss out on the pre-release, but yeah. So I had ordered this online, and yeah, we're gonna open it. So, a few things before we get started. Um, I'm gonna try to go over every card that I get, but if I get duplicates, I won't go over I won't go over those. I'll give my opinions on each of the cards, and hopefully this will be like a really fun thing that I hope to continue to do in the future, and hopefully with a better setup in a lot of ways too. Better camera and everything. Right now, what you're seeing is I'm using my what you're seeing is basically my OBS view with with of course my secondary camera, uh, or with me using a webcam off my computer program. That's why it has it has the weird standard computer border and all those little things instead of having a full screen. Oh, that just and yes, I'm doing this all basically. Nope. Yeah. So for now, we're stuck with this. So for now, we're stuck with this mode. With this until I can get a better way of doing things. Um, so, I guess without further ado, let's crack into this box of pre-release and see what we got. Ugh. I have to say, I've been loving this pre-release packaging. Yeah, like I love the little details on it. Like, yeah, this little like the full image of what it's supposed to be. I love that it's like fully cardboard, hardly any plastic or anything that you have to use for anything. Most of the plastic bits are like used for the dice and the packaging of cards. Um, and this is completely recyclable, so that's really cool. Um, so for those of you who don't know what Bloomburrow is the latest Magic set. Like I said, it's coming out this Friday. And basically, Bloomburrow is a world full of woodland creatures, of anthropomorphic woodland creatures that are the size of normal woodland creatures. Think like Chip and Dale. Think like Chip and Dale from Disney. Um, and they live in a world, and they live in a world full of other hostile environments. And the side flap says, "A tale of paws and claws." And of course, as you crack the sides of these open, you of course get these little punch out counters, little punch out counters that you can use during your game if you don't have dice. And of course, this little punch out. Let's see. Oh, there's more inside the box. The lush wilderness of Bloomburrow is home to tall tales and tiny heroes. Wielding spells and still, a brave band of animals sets out to uncover the secrets of the valley. Adventures await behind every leaf. Yeah, yeah, no, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the outer packaging, and this is the pre-release box itself. Basically, the same package, and then this opens. Oh, I was so yeah. So that's the spin down Bloomburrow die. Got the Bloomburrow leaf symbol. This is for the black. This is for black. They're all the dice that have been coming lately. They've been black, and then the numbers have been uh, have been colored to represent one of the colors of magic. Because the dice is already black, they had to choose another color to represent like the black. For those who don't know, magic is divide. If this is your first time encountering anything magic, magic basically divides itself between five colors. You have you have and each color has this basic thing. Basically, each color has its own representation. Show you um, on the back of these actually shows you the basic what the back of a magic card looks like. Each of these little dots represent one of the five colors of magic. White, white, which represents life and protection. Blue, which represents knowledge, which represents knowledge, represents knowledge. Life and protection, knowledge and power. Black, which represents death, ambition and decay. Red, which represents chaos, and which represents fire and chaos, and green, which represents strength and nature. Um, I mean, those aren't like the strict. Those are the basic ways the colors break down, and are not the strict adherence to those colors. Let's see what else we have. So we have one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 packs. Roll. And one bonus pack with a special card inside. This nice little art piece, and a little fold out, which basically breaks down the colors and building and the basic rules that basic and the basic breakdown of how to build your first pre-release. Um, basically these little kits are handed out whenever you go to a pre-release event or your at your local magic store. Um, they give you 6 packs, and you basically crack open all these packs plus what's ever in this to give you to build your deck with. And let's go over that. Building a pre-release deck for ages. Uh, the way you structure your deck can increase your chances of having the right cards at the right time. Most successful pre-release decks are 2 colors and have exactly 40 cards. Generally, this consists of 15, 18, and try to include Asian abilities, for example, or menace. 5 to 8 other spells. Look for spells that destroy your opponent's creature, make your own creature stronger, or deal damage to creatures. Try varying mana costs in your cards to form a curve that looks like this. Uh, one card that a one costing card that's usually 0 to 2 cards. Two casting 2 cards that cost 2 mana. 8 cards of those. 8 of 3 costs. 3 to 5 of 4 costs. 2 to 4 of 5 costs, and 1 to 3 of 6 or costs or more. And then 17 add a balance of lands to your according to which colors you are playing. Get basic lands from the tournament organizer. That's if you didn't your own, of course. When in doubt, ask for advice. At a pre-release, you can ask other players for help. And you can adjust your deck throughout the day if you're not satisfied. course, a bunch of copyright information. Then this breaks down the basic themes, which is animal folk. And each general animal folk has a related color selection. Bird folk, noble communal transporters of meat and other represented by white and blue. Rat folk, isolationists, keepers of secrets, are often in black. Lizard folk, black and red, cantankerous fire worshippers, artists. Raccoon folk, red and green, free-spirited wanderers, collectors, and rabbit folk, green and white, talented chefs and community-focused farmers. Bat folk, black, eccentric and mysterious nocturnal defenders. Otter folk, blue and red, clever gamesters and storm-chasing daredevils. Squirrel folk, green, morbid stewards of land and the life-death cycle. Mouse folk, red and white, plucky, loyal seekers of adventure and glory. Frog folk, curious, pessimistic practitioners represented blue. Yeah, that's that. So, I'll open this pack last. Put that there. And let's begin, shall we? They usually have like a little pull tab down here at the bottom. Oh. Is it down here at the bottom? Sorry, getting a little sound. Oh, that just pulled right off, didn't it? Okay, so let's see. So for those of you who don't know, the current run of Magic sets consists of two types of packs: collector's packs and play boosters. A little while ago, they were experimenting with three kinds of packs: draft packs, which were used for primarily, which were used to basically begin your collection, and whenever you just wanted to grab a whole bunch of packs and a bunch of friends without actually worrying. Then there was set booster pack, which came with less cards, but you had more chance to pull rarer cards and rarer or special cards out. And then there were collector packs, which gave you the best, which came with the least amount of cards, but gave you the best chances of pulling all those luscious rares and special cards that thought out. But now they combined, and they basically combined draft packs and play boosters. Or they basically combined draft packs and set boosters, draft boosters and set boosters, play boosters. So now they have play boosters and collector boosters, and they also lessen the amount of cards that came with some of them. They used to come with 15 cards. Now they only come with 14, which kind of sucks. But so let's begin with Conduit of Electricity. Oh, fuzzy. But what does Conduit of Electricity do? Well, let's see. It is, or conduct electricity, not conduit of electricity. Sorry. It is a common. It's an instant for 4 generic mana and 1 red mana. Conduct electricity damage to target creature. Damage of 1 target creature token. So with this, you can probably super zap and deal 2 damage to one of their small little token bits. So yeah, red pile. Glide Glide Dive Duo. There, 3/3 creature card that is a bat lizard, 4 and a black, 3/3 flying with flying, and when Glide Dive Duo enters the battlefield, tries to enters. Each opponent loses life and you gain 2 life. I think so. Oh, that goes. Then is Rush Shield Rampage. And the way these are correlated is the 7 common, 7 common, 3 uncommon. Yeah, no. So, yeah. That isn't the because play boosters are kind of like I said the combination of draft boosters usually had like 15 cards in it, and it was like a set number of commons, uncommons, and a single rare that could either be a rare or a mythic, and could be a regular rare or a mythic rare, and it also had a chance to there also a chance that one of the cards was foil, and also a basic land reminder card and or token. So in actuality, you were getting 16 cards, but the token, but like I said, the card could be either be a reminder card or the spare card. The extra card could be either a reminder card or a token. It didn't really matter. Didn't matter much, and and play boost and set boosters came with, like I said, less cards, but your chances of getting rare cards was increased, and your chances of getting multiple rare cards was also increased, as well as cards with special art. So, so actually, let's take a look at the. They contain these cards. They may contain these cards. BLB that 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 code numbers 1 through 342. So and SPG other that special sets 54 through includes 1 to 4 cards of rarity rare or higher, 3 to 5 uncommon, 6 to 9 commons, 1 land card, 1 card of any rarity in traditional foil mythic, then also has a chance foil mythic borderless planeswalker in less than 1% of boosters. Traditional foil land replaces percent of boosters. So yeah, that's basically how that breaks down. So not every pack is going to have the same amount of rarity. This pack also start. Next card is Rush Shield Rampage. Main camera instead of the. It is a 3/4 for it is a or no, it was a 3. It costs 3 and a green. Raccoon Warrior for 4/4 with Offspring 2. Reminder text is you may pay an additional 2 generic mana to as you cast the spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a token copy of it that 1 or 2 short in that text. Create a 1/1 token copy of it. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So basically, when you cast this, you can either cast it for its base mana 3 and a green, or get the 4/4 creature with that, or you could pay an additional 2, which brings the total mana to 6, and you get an additional copy. That's actually really that Offspring ability is really good for creatures battlefield effect. Next up is Mines. Common cost 4 and a blue. You can gift a tapped fish. Binder text. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, they create a tapped 1/1 blue fish creature for its other effects. Or you get the effects of this card, your opponent gets fish token. If I get some fish tokens, I'll show you those. Target player draws 3 cards. If the gift was promised, tap target creature opponent controls and put a stun creature with a stun and things with stun counters. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove one from it instead. So basically what would happen is when this card is played, targeted player will be able to draw 3 cards. You'd be able to choose a target player to draw 3 cards from the top of the deck. Then, if you had given an opponent the fish, an opponent the fish, you'd be able to tap. You'd be able to tap, which is this motion. Creature that opponent controlled, and an opponent controlled, so any creature isn't yours, and put basically a stun counter on it. Kind of threw the stun counters away. Uh, on your pre-release kit, it would be like a little spiral thing, but you can. And basically, when it came to untapping, instead of untapping the creature, they would basically be for a turn, just remove counter from blue pile. Then we have a white card. Max Wayne Witness. It is a 2/4 bat cleric in 3 and a white with flying and vigilant. Whenever you gain or lose life during your turn, Max Wayne Witness gets +1/+0 until it should reach. So yeah, so that is a white card. White pile. Ooh, next card is a multicolor known as this is Seapod Squire. The birds is a creature bird scout for 3 and either a white or a blue. So what was known as Azorius hybrid man. 3/3 with flying, and whenever Seapod Squire attacks, target creature you control without flying gets +1 until multicolor. Oh. Then it is the non-basic land, Hidden Grotto. And the Hidden Grotto says when Hidden Grotto enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Surveil is look at the top card of your library, put it into your graveyard. Then it has tap, add a colorless, or tap a generic mana, add 1 mana of any color. So you can this enters the battlefield and basically take the top card of your deck, look at it, and you can choose to either put it back on the library or into. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, there are many cards in throughout 3 that actually want cards in your grid, and there may be more stuff in this that. And then you can basically tap this to a colorless mana that can be used to pay for like or any mana cost that requires diamond shape, or you can say if you had another land, you can tap 1, tap it, and tap this, and basically add 1 mana of any color you wanted. So say you've had a surplus of red mana, or white mana, take some of that red. You can take 1 of that red mana, a white mana. Called land filtering. Called mana filtering. Now we're into the uncommons. Start that with Vine Reap Mentor. It is a 3/2 for a black energy. When Vine Reap Mentor, better When Vine Reap Mentor enters or dies, create a food token. Food token is an artifact with tap 2 and tap sacrifice this artifact, and you get life. Yeah. So basically when you play when you play this and it enters the battlefield, you get a food token, and then later on it can die, and you get another food token. Cool. Multicolored. Well, next is a blue card, Mind Whisker. Glowy Rat is a 2/3 rat wizard for 2 and a blue. And at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Basically, as your turn begins, and after basically readied all your cards, you will basically do what the Grotto does, but on a more consistent basis. And it also has Threshold. And what Threshold is, as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, creatures your opponents control get -1, -1. That's actually a very classic blue ability there. Blue was known for casting corrupted your opponent's power, making them weaker and easier to manage. Blue pile. Next is another black card, Persistent Marsh Stalker. Cards a rat there, and it is a rat berserker. Sorry. Olaf, berserker. My rat is my rat. The rat I play is like a truck berserker. So Persistent Marstalker costs 1 and a black, and is a and if for a 3/1 rat berserker, I'll say that. Say that normal. Persistent Marstalker gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control. Then it also has Threshold. Whenever you attack with 1 or more rats, if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, they pay 2 and a black, and turn Persistent Marstalker from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So, say if this was in your graveyard and you had 7 or more cards, including this one, in your graveyard, like say from the Mind Whisker Surveil ability, and you attacked with another rat, say the Mind Whisker, let's say the Mind Whisker, you can pay 2 and a black, get this beauty back, and attacking as well. And then it is and of course, because since you have 2 rats, since you have another rat on the field, it would be a 4/1 instead of a 3/1. If you can give it some kind of evasion, that like trample, or if you give it some other ability, like say trample or something, that would have a vicious. Into the black pile you go. And we have our first rare. Is Valley Might Caller, the Frog Warrior. And it is a 1/1 for 1 green with trample. Whenever another frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on Valley Might. So basically, what that means is frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrels. Given that, so basically, what happens if say you have this on the field, play Prime Reap, or Shield Rampage. This would get +1 counter, become even stronger. It starts out as a tiny trampler and then bigger. It's bigger as it goes. Now we'll go. Ooh, got our first mythic as well in the special showcase art. There's another frog. That is cool. It is Glarb Calamity. Beautiful on. And what is this? So Glarb Calamity's Augur is a black green, costs 1 black, 1 green, and 1 blue. Legendary creature Frog Wizard Noble with 2 power and 4 toughness. And it has Death Touch that deals damage whenever it deals damage to another droid, regardless if ARPs are only protection, like Indestructible. So, what are his other abilities? You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library. And then you can tap 2, just a Veil 2. That is, yeah, that will go in the multicolor pile. Then we have a basic land. We have a basic card. Full art. So what's cool about these? What's cool about the basic lands in this set is that there are 4 different. Excuse me. There are 4 different arts each land, and they're all the same. And they're all basically variances of the same artwork, but they're all different seasons. This appears to be the Winter Mountain. Hopefully, get more of those. But actually put those over there because we get our next type of card, a colorless card, and it is a foil. It is all shiny and stuff, far more shiny than. And it is Bubble Flowers Sheer Pot. Costs 2 generic mana, artifact, and when Bubble Flowers Sheer Pot enters, create a food token. We discussed food earlier with the Vine Reaper. And you may tap 5 and tap and sacrifice the shot. Destroy target non-land permanent. Activate sorcery. Cool, you get a food and then later on blow something up. Ooh! Dropped it! Sorry for all the noise. There we go. And then last but not least, rounding up our card type is the token, a bat token. No. A bat token. It is a 1/1 flying token creature, bat. Bat. So on to the next pack. And once again, if I get any duplicates of these cards, we'll not go over them again. There. And we start off with Druid of the Spade. It is a green card. Rabbit Druid. Druid of the Spade. Costs 2 and a green for a 2. As long as you control a token, Druid of the Spade gets +2/+0 and trample. So it goes from a 2/3 to a 4/3. That's if you control a token, any token. It could be a food token, it could be a creature token. But it gets 2, but it becomes a 4/3 with trampoline. Next is a blue card called Shore Up. And it's an instant for 1 blue. Dark creature control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until the end. Untap it. Just because because I got Glock. If I were to build the green and blue, really nice. Next comes up the Life Creed Duo, which is 1/2 bat bird. Bat bird. For 1 and a white with flying, and whenever another creature you control enters, gain 1 life. Like creatures I've pulled so far to the battlefield under my control. Got this bat token from Soul Sister stuff there. Next we have instant. Take out the trash. For 1 and a red, take out the trash, deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Control a raccoon, you may discard a card if you. So basically you can dome dome a creature or plane or rush shield ram play, you get to draw a card. Discard it. You discard a card from your hand, and of course the difference between instant sorceries, of course, is that instant you play at any time. Well, sorceries you can only play on your turn. Next is a black card, Ravine Raider. Raider is a 1/1 lizard folk for 1 black with menace, also known professional magic code as Ache. This basically it's this creature cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. If this were to attack, have to have Bat Berserker, the Batbird, and then it also has tap a red, tap 1 and a black, and Ravine Raider will get +1/+1 until. So that's pretty cool. Plop that down, pump it up a couple times, swing with it, and if your opponent only has 1 creature, they get hard into the black. Next is a green sorcery, long stalk. Rabbit fighting a raccoon with a sprig of onion. Gift a tap fish. They may promise another fish, so choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. Put a 1/1 counter on the creature you control if the gift was promised. Then those creatures fight each other. So basically, if you gave the fish, you can choose like say, Ravine Raider, fight Ravine Raider, fight the Life Creed duo. So gave the fish, the Raider would get a 1/1 counter, make it strong enough to kill the duo, but keep the Raider alive. And what fight is basically both creatures deal damage to each other equally. Into the green pile. Pretty sorcery, which we got a colored artifact, and it's Harvest. Heaped Harvest, which is an artifact food. When Heaped Harvest enters, and when you sacrifice it, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle, and it has the basic food effect. Tap 2, tap, sacrifice it, and gain life. Costs 2 and a green to initially. That's kind of cool. So you play this, get in the battlefield tapped. Then later, if you have 2 hand on, sacrifice it and get another one. Not a green. Then another non-basic land, the Lilypad Village. And what does the Lilypad Village do? Tap it for a colorless, or you can tap it for and spend, but you can only spend the blue mana on to cast creature spells, like the Mind Whisker or the Life Creep or the Ravine. And then for 1 blue and tap, you can Seville 2. But you can only activate the ability if a bird, frog, otter, or rat enter the battlefield. Then we're into and that was uncommon. Now we got another black card, Thoughtstalker Warlock. A lizard, a 2/2 Warlock for 2 and a black, and it too has Manache. When Thoughtstalker Warlock enters the field, sorry, I'm so used to saying enters the battlefield. I have to get used, like many other new terms and phrases. I'm just saying. When Thoughtstalker Warlock enters, choose target opponent. If they lost life this turn, they reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and then they discard that card. Otherwise, they discard that card. Otherwise, they discard a card. So either way, they're discarding a card. Cool. But if they lost, so the difference is that if they lost life that turn, you get to choose that card. If not, they just discard a card of their of their own choosing. Uh, so basically, the way this would work was, say you swing with a Ravine Raider, get some damage in there, and then on your next main phase, play the Thoughtstalker Warlock, and start. Force them to start. Then there, this one, Darcy Mentor, Bat is 3/5 Bat War, 3 a white and a abilities. It has flying and vigilance. So what are flying and vigilance? I went over menace and trample. Oh, I didn't actually go over trample. So basically, what trample does, I is that if a creature attacks and is blocked, and any excess damage that the creature that is dealt to the blocking creature actually goes over and dealt to that creature controller. What is flying? Well, flying is basically a creature with flying cannot be blocked except by other creatures with flying, or if they have an ability called reach. And then there's vigilance. Vigilance means that basically the creature doesn't normally when a creature attacks, it has to tap itself. Creatures with vigilance do not have to tap, which means you can attack with them and still keep them up as blockers for the next turn. And its abilities read: at the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Oh, that's rough. I like it. That's cool. Multicolored. Wow. Then we have another black card called Stargaze. Cute little bat on it, just staring up at the sky. Adorable. Bats are like winged puppies. And this one says, and this is a sorcery for 2 black and X. So cards with X in their costs basically means you can pay any amount of additional mana into X, and you will get an effect like this. Look at twice X cards from the top of your library, put X cards from among them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard, and you lose X life. And X is equal to whatever you pay to X on mana cost. Honestly, I say that's a fair deal. And we get the rare of the pack. Which is Hearthborn Battler. It is a two Lizard Warlock. Red with haste. And what does haste mean? Haste means that it can attack the same turn it came out. Normally, creatures cannot do that. So, and whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Hearthborn Battler deals 2 damage to target opponent. Is actually pretty good because spells all day. And then we got the Summer Mountain this time. Or no. Yeah, the Summer Mountain. That'd be blazing. I'm gonna assume that every basic land is full art, which is really cool. Something. And then the next card is a foil banishing light. This card is printed on. Like it. Common. Enchantment, which is a card that's kind of like an artifact. There are 4 types of card or 5 types of cards that stay on the battlefield when after you play them. And that is land, artifacts, creatures, planeswalkers, which hopefully I get one and I can show you, and enchantments. And this one says when Banishing Light enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So basically, you play this and say that Starseer Mentor is giving you trouble. You play this, you can say the Mentor goes away until Banishing Light goes away. And then they have to get rid of your Banishing Mentor back. Pretty cool. Foil, white, into the white pile. And our extra card is a Manifold Mouse token. Manifold token. soldier, with at the beginning of combat on your turn, target mouse you control gain your choice of double strike or trample until the end. This token's mana cost is this is one of the offspring tokens. Cool. And offspring, like they just gave birth, they just had a baby. Offspring, the rock band. So cool. So far, aside from the mountain, no repeats, and even the mountain was different. So moving on to a new white Warren Elder. Warren Elder. It is a 2/2 rabbit cleric for 1 white, and it has pay 3 and 1 white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. Very basic white effect. Simple tomfoolery there. Care of timely sanctions it or. And yeah, no. Buff out all your creatures. At least a couple times. Really, I mean, that's pretty good if you have a lot of mana and you play. You can just go, hey, I'm just gonna buff out all my creatures. Go to go to town on your. I'll buff out my creatures. And then we have a red instant, another red instant called Sazakap's Brew. An instant for red. And what does it do? Gift a fish. So yeah, fish. And as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. So you have to have 2 cards in your hand to at least play this. Target player draws 2 cards. If the gift was promised, target creature you control gets +2/+0. Oh, so you can go, ha, discard a card from my hand, give you a fish, and say you guys over there, or even myself, I will draw, we'll say, hey, this player will draw 2 cards, and this creature that I control gets gets 2 power. 2 power. Bad for you. Next is a new black card. Nocturnal Hunger! An instant for 2 and a black. And this one gifts a food. So, yeah. And destroy target creature. If a gift wasn't promised, you lose 2 life. So you can bump off a creature and lose 2 life, or bump off a creature, give your opponent and go, I'm sorry. Here, have a food, and go, here, have a food, and in return, I will kill your strongest thing. Definitely a risk versus reward card there. Another food of the spade. Another duo. This time the blue one, Sky Skipper duo. And it is a 3 bird frog, 4 and a blue, with flying. And when Sky Skipper duo enters, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So you can just say if you have a creature with a nice enter the battlefield effect, you can go, or you can go, yeah, duo, bounce that, turn it back to the battlefield, and get its effect again. We have an artifact called the Fountain Port Bell. Artifact that costs 1 Jamaica. And when Fountain Port Bell enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, shuffle that card, and shuffle your library, and put that card on top. And then you can sacrifice the bell to draw. You can pay 1 and sacrifice the bell to draw a card. So basically, for 2 mana, a land, basic land, or squirrel that land away and then draw another card later on. Artifacts. Not good, not great, but helps in a pinch. Then we have a multicolored card called the Moonrise Cleric. You back Cleric for one, and two Azorius. Two white black hybrid mana. Hybrid reminder hybrid mana can be paid with any of the colors shown within the symbol. It has flying, and whenever it attacks, you gain a life. Doesn't even have to deal damage. It's just whoop, all whip. Come swinging at you. I live longer. Next is the Tidecaller Mentor. Another multicolored card. Oh, a 3/3 rat wizard for one blue and black. With menace and another threshold ability. When Tidecaller Mentor enters the battlefield, if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, return up to 2 target non-land permanents to its owner. Nice little. So if you have 7 cards from surveilling, which these like to do, you can just pop that in and go, yeah, your biggest things are back in your hand, and I don't have to deal with them for a while. Next up, next up is another enchantment. It's an it is Builder's Talent, which is a enchantment class. Classes were first introduced in Dungeons and Dragons set for one and white. What is it? And so a class is a type of enchantment that has multiple levels. Its reminder text says gain the next level as a sorcery at its ability. Your first level, the first level that you automatically have as you pay this card, is when Builder's Talent enters, create a 0/4 white wall creature token with Defender. Creatures with Defender cannot attack. And then for one white, you get a level 2. When one or more non creature, non land permanent you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then, for 4 and a white, which gets you level 3, you get when this class becomes level 3, return target non creature, non land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if you can find some way to like decrease its level over and over again, that would be like a nice turn effect. But its level 2 is pretty gnarly. You only get that for an additional white. So yeah, that's to the white. So next is the Heartfire Hero. A 1/1 is a 1/1 Mouse Soldier. One red with Valiant. What does Valiant do? Whenever Heartfire Hero becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 counter on it. So way back in the day, there was an ability called Heroic that, and this is sort of like a dumbed down, like a lesser version of that, because you basically can only do it once per turn. Where Heroic you can do multiple times, so long as you had enough spells to that target that creature. And then when Heartfire Hero dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Oh, that's rough. Like it. And then is a white card, Star Charter. It is a 3/1 back trick for a 3 white with flying. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 3 or less from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in random order. Oh, that's spiffy, especially with all the life gain that white has. Yeah, that's what bats do. Bats gain you life. You can use that, and then you can use the rewards for gaining life for gaining life to get more stuff. Then we have and then our rare for this pack is Uera Trash Tech It is a legendary creature, Raccoon Warrior. 1 for 1, a green. For 1, a green and a power of 2/4. And it says at the beginning of your first main phase, add a red or a green for each raccoon you control. Whenever you expend 4, you gain life. What does expend 4 mean? Basically when you spend 4 as you spend your fourth total mana to cast spells during this turn. Basically what that means is that say you have whenever you tap mana, whenever you tap land, certain other things for mana, that mana isn't automatically used. Instead, it goes into its own pocket called your mana pool. Then you use that mana from your pool, which basically means you store up as much mana as you want, and then you can use that mana to cast. Um, this gets you extra mana that you can use to cast a bunch of a bunch of 4 cost spells, or even just low cost spells that once you cast your whatever, say you cast 4 red, 4 single cost spells, like four Heartfire Hero in a row, for instance. Once you cast that fourth one, you would gain 3 life. And then whenever you expand 8, that's whenever you 8th mana cast a spell. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of turn. Then you may play those cards. That's actually something. That's actually a form of card advantage that they've been read. Actually, pretty good. There. Actually, might build. If I get enough cards, I actually have plans to buy a whole play booster box of this. Have fun with that. And if I get enough raccoons, I actually might build a raccoon commander with Mira, Trash Tactician. They also have a Raccoon Commander deck that I'm actually interested in. Put Trash Tactician in. Make it the commander. Who knows? Then we have a Farley basic plane ring variant, which takes the place of another foil, Might of the Meat. Common red instant for 1 red, and it says target creature gains trample until the it also gets +1/+0 until the control a mouse. Draw a card. Yeah, that can be spent to target a Heartfire Hero. And then our bonus card is just a reminder card. Gone with you. Be gone. We will, and I will be right back in just a moment. This part will probably be edited out. I don't know, maybe I might just upload the whole thing as is. But I will actually be right back. I will actually need to just grab my drink real quick. Super long cord. Sorry for the noise. Clatter. Satisfying. Glug, 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 glug. So good. So tasty. So fine. Also, this video is not sponsored by anybody in particular, not even Wizards of the Coast. I was just so excited for the set, I thought I'd share it with you. Well, we're 3 packs down and 3 more to go, plus the special pre-release card. What could it be? Who knows? I haven't looked yet. So let's crack into this one. And see what we got. Our first one is a bench formation. It's a 2/2 bird scout for 2 and a blue with Offspring 3. So another 3 gets you a 1/1 copy of this. And it's flying, and when this creature enters, target creature you control gains flying until the end of turn. Yeah. Plop that, and if you offspring it, so for 6 mana, or for You can get two other creatures flying. So you get two of these guys, and two creatures temporary flying. So whabab over their heads. Next is Crumb and Get It. God, I love cards with. This is a uh, this is a white in for one, and you have to gift a food, but target creature you control gets +2/+2 until the turn. If the gift was promised, that creature also gains indestructible until then. Oh, that's actually very glorious. That is worth giving a food to, because they'd be all like, they're like, well, I swing with this 5/5, with this 5/5 whatever monster of the week calamity boss nonsense, and all you have to block is a 3/3 is a 3/3 whatever, and he's like, okay, so I'm gonna cast Crumb and Get It. You're gonna get a food, but my creature is gonna get +2/+2 and indestructible. Bring it. That actually is a really good instant, especially for one white mana. That's glorious. That's glorious. Another Conduct Electricity, which was the first card we pulled. And we got a new duel. Got a Dagger Fang duel. 2/3 Rat Squirrel for two and a black. Death Touch. For a reminder, things with Death Touch kill whatever they touch. Uh, when Daggerfang Duel enters, you may mill two cards. And a reminder of that is you may put the top two cards of your library into your graveyard. Unlike Seville, you don't actually get to look at those cards before you decide on that. It happens. Which is not totally, which again, isn't totally a bad thing. Got the Sticky Tongue Sentinel next. This one's a little off center. But it is a 3/3 Frog Warrior for two reach. Whenever Sticky Tongue Sentinel enters, return up to one target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Bounce around. It's a frog with a bounce effect. That's hilarious. That is so flavorful. It hurts. And yeah, that's what they call returning stuff to an opponent's hand, bouncing, or returning stuff to someone's hand, bouncing. Sticky tongue and tongue sentinel is a frog that bounces. Oh yeah, that is so unflavored it hurts. Great. Next, next is this beautiful junk blade bruiser. But it's a 4/5 for 3 and 2 rule, or 2 red mana. A Raccoon Berserker will not do that. You only get one. With Trample, whenever you expand 4, Junkblade Bruiser gets +2/+1 until the end of. Now that's only, and again with the expand, it's only a one-off. But hey, that becomes a 6/6 Trample. Your 4th mana spent. Gross. Get another non-basic land in the form of Uncharted Haven. Uncharted Haven enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color. Basically, you go boop, and I choose white, and from that on, it will tap for white. Another Star Seer Mentor. Another Star Gaze. And we have Hive Spine Wolverine. 5/4 Elemental Wolverine. And the High Spine Wolverine, when the High Spine Wolverine enters, You can choose one. Either put a 1/1 counter on target creature control, fights target creature token, or destroys target artifact orange. Dear Lord, this thing is terrifying. It's a freaking Wolverine that is also a walking hornet's nest. My God, that is scary to think about. It's a freaking little giant honey badger coming at you with its rabies and shooting freaking hornets at you. No. God, no. No. Go with the green. And yeah, got a black card called the Husk Buster War. 6/6 or 7 black elemental insect. And you're thinking, that is expensive. But they're not. So they're not. Or it has a nifty little way to get that down. That is, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card you own in exile and your graveyard. There are certain effects that will remove stuff from your graveyard or put stuff in exile like that. Tyler? Trash? It was one of these. It was, I think it was it was like Mira. Yeah. Mora. Basically, you drop this. Basically, this reduces the cost for every card you have in exile. It also has Menace and Death Touch, and big old wreck your day. No, the High Spine Wolverine is the most terrifying I've seen. Most of these have been like fluffy, cute critters, little flying doggos, Even the lizards are kind of endearing. Even the lizards are kind of endearing. And then you hit me with that thing. No. Ugh. No. And our rare is a and it is the Fountain Port. With tap, add a colorless mana, or tap 2 and tap, sacrifice a token to draw a card. Tap 3, tap, pay 1 life, create a 1/1 blue fish token, so fish be popping out of that sense. Or 4, and tap and create a treasure token. So yeah, no, that's actually really good. Tap it for colorless early on as you play it. Tap 2, and you can get tokens that you can sacrifice to draw cards at the cost of life or get treasure. And what a treasure token is, that is a token that basically you tap and sacrifice that dude and that thing, and you get yourself extra mana. That is nice. Definitely a card I would play in. And we got another mana, and I think this one's the spring or autumn or mountain, and this one's either the spring or autumn variant. And then our foil is a foil persistent Marshstalker. Yeah. Cool. And then an art card. The art card is of the Tempest and then an art card. Playable collectibles that you get in packs, and they often replace either tokens or binder cards. And this one, like I said, is of the Tempest Angler, art by Reluca Marinescu. Put the art card. Last 2 packs. Here we go. Wah! We get another Life Free Duo. So that's take out the trash. Another Ravine Raider. Another Lawnstock Brawl. Finch Formation. Here we go. Head of the Homestead. Head of the Homestead. It is a Rabbit Citizen for 3 and 2 Celestia. Green white, 2 green white. And it has when Head of the Homestead enters, create 2/1/1 white rabbit creatures. Get bunnies, they're good at multiplying. Next is the Corpseberry Cultivator. For a Warlock for 1, 2 Golgari hybrid men. 1 and black green men. This has at the beginning of combat on your turn, may forage. Hey, here's your little exile stuff so you can get your bugs out. Forage is exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food. So if you don't have a food token, you can just take cards in your graveyard that you probably surveilled away or discarded or what have you, and get those out of the game. Which exile means to remove from the game completely. Can't get them back. Now pass go. Do not collect 200 mana. And yeah, and it also has an effect that whenever you forage, put a 1/1 counter on Corpseberry Cultivator. So you could sacrifice that lovely food we were talking about earlier, or yeah, you could exile 3 cards from your graveyard. It gets bigger, and with those 3 cards and the exile, it also say reduces the swarm by 3 mana, bringing it down to a more manageable 1 black and 4 mana for a 6/6 with menace and death touch. Your world. No. Get away. Another High Spine Wolverine and another Huskbreaker Swarm. Yeah. No. And our next card is Rabid Gnaw. Instant for 1 and a red. And what is Rabid Gnaw? Some huge teeth for 1. And it says target creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. That is different from fighting. Kind of cool. Make it slightly stronger and they go BAM! On another creature. Then another pack. Oh, this pack has 3 rares in it. Start that with the Feckin' Green Shell. Feckin' Green Shell. It is a 4/6 elemental turtle for 3 green. With reach, that means it can get up into the sky and get all the little flyers. As long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. Yeah, lands do matter. 10 mana out, buff your creatures. And whenever Feckin' Green Shell or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it into the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Yeah, that's Biffy. Next is a luge. Shoreless Sea. Cross. That is star for 1 blue elemental fish. Hit him with the fish. And a luge. It's actually not the boat. This is actually not the fish head boat that you see there, but it is that big long nose thing, glowing eye in the background. Just coming to wreck day. But a luge. Luge's power, toughness are equal to the number of islands you control. Whenever a luge enters or attacks, put a flood counter on target land. It's an island in addition to its other types, for as long as it has a flood counter on it. The first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn costs 1 blue or 1 colorless one generic less to cast for each land you control with a flood counter. So yeah, that's fun. So decks. I actually have a deck that can go in. Few decks that can go. That's fun. Little blue. Then we have a normal planes. Yeah, which is the foil, which is part of the foil variant that we got. Then we have the Dark Star Augur. 2/3 foil. It is a 2/3, 2 and a black. Bat Warlock. Offspring for 1 black. So 2 of these guys. Flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Put that card in your hand, and you lose life equal to its mana value. Mana value is the total amount of mana you would normally pay for a spell without any additional cost. Not bad. And then the fish token. Fish. All the cards have been getting fish. 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 This is literally teaching a man to fish. Last pack. Don't know why I'm being so theatrical with throwing these pack with like opening these packs. You can't really see any of me doing that. All you can see is this. So we start out with a water spout ward card. Frog Soldier. 3/2 Frog Soldier. Get up. 2 and a blue. And whenever Water Spout Warden attacks, if another creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, gains Water Spout Warden gains flying until. So you play a creature, swing with this, gains it basically jumps in the air, kick butt, go home happy. Then we have the Bravekin duo. 1/1 Rabbit Mouse. Right? And for 1 generic and tap this creature, target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Activate all sorcery. Or otherwise, on turn, you have priority. We have the Kindle Spark duo. 1/3 Lizard Otter. 3 in a red. With tap, Kindle Spark Duel deals 1 damage to target opponent. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap Kindle Spark Duel. So you could go, whop, show them something, hit, shock a target, and then cast like Rabbit Gnaw. This untaps, and probably put it on this to have it deal 2 damage to a creature, and then spark your opponent again. Good stuff. Good times. Another Glide Dive duo. 3-top Sentry card. 2/4 or 2/4 Squirrel Archer. Reach. And when Treetop Sentries enters, you may forage and draw a card. Lead and forage, sacrifice food, or exile 3 cards from. So card draw, yeah. Another arrow. Black card called Saver. It says target creature gets -2, gets -2, gets -2 power and -2 toughness until the end of turn. You create a food. So basically, you weaken an opponent and food to gain you some more life later. Or you can, or if they're weak enough, just flat out kill them and for 1 in a black. Good stuff. That and what's good about that is, say somebody cast whatever that one card, the the Crumb and Get It and gave it the Crumb and Get It gave it that +2/+2 and indestructible. You can hit it with Savor and eliminate that +2/+2. And if they're weak enough, it would. And even though it probably wouldn't kill them, if they were weak enough. Then there is the Mind Drill Assailant. It is a 5 Rat Warlock 2 or 2. Was it Simic? Yes, 2 Simic. So 2 blue black, blue black. With Threshold, as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Mind Drill Assailant gets +3/+0, and it has its own way of doing that by paying 2 and either a blue or a black. You surveil one. So slow and steady might always win the race, but at least it doesn't wind up splattered all over the walls. Then we have the Calamitous Tide, which is actually see that illusion there because he likes to. And what is Calamitous Tide? It is a sorcery for 4 and 2 blue. Return up to target creature. Draw 2 cards. Start a card. Always fun. Then we got another class. This time, Blacksmith's Red class. Red. With when Blacksmith's Talent enters, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword. Equip creature gets +1/+1 and has equip 2. What are equipments? Equipments are special artifacts that you can attach to your own creatures for a cost. And in this case, it is a sword, +1/+1. And then for 2 and a red, you go to level 2, and this gives you at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control up to 1 target creature you control. And then finally, level 3 for 3 and a red. During your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. Like that. Man, use that. Good card. Arr. And we have the Hazard Root Herbalist. 1/4 Rabbit Druid for 2. It says whenever you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. If that creature is token, it also gains Death Touch. So say if you have the fish or the bat or the mouse or some of the rabbits you created, they can get a +1/+0 and Death Touch. Boink and dead. Our rare for the pack is Caretaker's Talent. Rare for 2 and a white. And its first ability is whenever 1 or more tokens you control enter, draw a card. The ability triggers only once each turn. So you can't draw cards for multiple tokens. Draw a card. Whenever you get tokens, but only once a turn. So basically an extra card per turn. And then for 1 white, level 2, when this class becomes level 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So yeah, you get the token, and then you get a copy of that token when it becomes level 2. And if this ability hadn't, the first ability hadn't triggered already from any other tokens entering, that copy token get you another card draw. And then finally, level 3 for 3 in white. Creature tokens you control get +2/+2. Fish stronger. Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Finally, a swamp. And it is I don't know what season it is. Probably spring. And our foil is a Starlit Soothsayer, a a 2/2 flat back cleric for 2 and a black. That's flying, and at the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, L1. Then, oh hey, there's that wall. There's the wall token that the other classmate. And now for the grand finale, a moment you've all been waiting for. The pack of my pre-release card. Looks like it's just the card and a reminder card. Sometimes they have Sometimes these have additional cards in them, like bonus cards to show off in the set. So hard because there's only like one or two, so they're like, yep. And yeah, and that's a and what I'm blocking out is a code for Magic, which I might put on Twitter, and I might I might give to Twitter. See who wants that. Yeah, cool. And then our and then our pre-release card is Camellia, the Seed Miser, a 3/3 legendary creature squirrel warlock for 1 black green with menace. Other squirrels you control have menace, and whenever you sacrifice one or more foods, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. And tap 2, forage. Reminder for to forage, you exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food and put a 1/1 counter on each other squirrel you control. So this basically feeds into itself. Like you create a bunch of food. You create a bunch of food. Uh, tap 2, forage, sacrificing a food. You get a squirrel, and you also get a +1/+1 counter on each squirrel you control. That's awesome. I'd actually build a squirrel deck from her too. So yeah, that's basically everything. I mean, when I originally started this, yeah, when I got the Glarb, I said that I might go black. That I would probably go black, green, blue, but there's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff in this that I could use. Um, yeah, if you were paying attention, and in the comments below, let me know what you would take out of what kind of deck you would build out of this if this was your pool. Where would you take it and everything? Would you go with the raccoons? Would you go with the frogs? Would you go with the squirrels? The rats? Or would you go with something more calamitous? So yeah, thank you. So that was that. Thank you for joining me for this unboxing. It took an hour and a half to do this because of things, but thank you for this unboxing of the Bloomburrow pre-release kit. Actually, there's a lot of awesome cards in this. I'm sorry that I missed the pre-release. That would have been fun to play with. But until then, but yeah, I might actually do this for a future. Yeah, for future sets. In September we have the next set coming, which is a horror themed one. That'll be fun. See what that's like. And until next time, if there is a next time, if there isn't, I'll see you guys later.